What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon video. Today I'm going to be breaking down the Rapid Strike Urshifu Vmax deck. This one's very popular right now and it's going to stay strong after rotation, no doubt. But there's lots of different ways to play the deck, so I want to cover all of those and show you an example deck. So as you can see, I don't have all the cards for this deck. Some of these I do own, but I'm really OCD about stuff, so I just made everything the copies of cards I don't own. But I have watched several videos on this deck, and I have played against it lots of times online, so I know how the deck is played and what cards should be included in it and what purposes they serve. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Pokemon. So the heart of the deck is going to be your Rapid Strike Urshifu, but the Vmax is what's really strong, but you don't want to leave out the V, since you will want to get those out before you can evolve it into the Vmax. So I did want to look at this real quick. You've got Strafe for 30 damage, you can be switch this Pokemon from your British Pokemon, 1 fighting energy, not that special. I guess if the right opportunity comes you might need it, but really nothing to shout about. But then you've got 100 Furious Blows for 150 damage, 2 Fighting Energy, and a Colorless. So this does some more brute damage and does a lot more damage than Strafe. So this one is a viable attack. Rapid Strike Urshifu V isn't the strongest, but with some damage boosters that we'll cover here in a second, 100 Furious Blows can actually dish out some decent damage. Rapid Strike Urshifu Vmax is an interesting artwork card. I'm not quite sure what this pose is. It just kind of looks weird. I prefer the alternate art. It looks a lot cooler. But it gets quite an upgrade from the Rapid Strike Urshifu V. It has 330 HP now instead of 220. And it's got this Gale Thrust attack, which does 30 damage. It says if this Pokemon moved from your bench to the active spot this turn, this attack does 120 more damage. So for 1 fighting energy, you can dish out up to 150 damage. So that's pretty awesome. We include Karate Belt in this deck, so if you're behind on prize cards, you could actually potentially use Gale Thrust for a free 150 damage, no energy required. But Gmax Rapid Flow is no doubt the best attack on here. For 2 fighting energy and that 1 colorless energy, you discard all energy from the Pokemon. This attack does 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. It be either 120 to the bench Pokemon and 120 to another bench Pokemon, or you could do 1 damage to the active and then the other damage to the bench. Unfortunately, it does discard all that energy from Rapid Strike Urshifu, so you want to include a little more energy so you can load this up. Fortunately, there are some ways to cut down on the energy that you have to include, because we do include Rapid Strike Energy, which provides 2 energy for any Rapid Strike Pokemon for just 1 attachment. So Rapid Strike Urshifu Vmax is the only attacker in this deck. So for your other Pokemon, you'll want to include your tech cards. So we've got 1 copy of Crobat V, and then we've also have 1 copy of Dedenne GX, 1 copy of Galarian Zigzagoon. Sometimes Rapid Strike Urshifu Vmax is just 10 damage short of knocking out a Pokemon, or just needs a little bit of damage here and there to get that little extra boost. So there's 1 copy of Zigzagoon in here, and it can be reused with Scoop Up Net. So we've got 1 copy of that in here. And then we have 1 Jirachi GX. This one, you've probably seen it in some Mewtwo and Mew GX decks because it has this Psychic Zone ability. So it just straight up shut down Psychic weakness. So we include that because for Psychic decks out there, if you've seen Pikachu and Zekrom, that one has the Mewtwo and Mew that it attacks with, which is Psychic type, so that could potentially one-shot Urshifu. So if you include this Jirachi, it takes away the possibility of that. And then we have 2 copies of regular Jirachi, just to be able to find some cards with this Stellar Wish, grab some trainer cards here and there. I also felt like some people I've watched videos on, they've had Galarian Zigzagoon, and then they've included 2 Scoop Up Net just for the Zigzagoon. I felt like there needed to be something else in here that you could use Scoop Up Net with, because otherwise your Zigzagoon might go to the prize cards, and then you may have your Scoop Up Net and they're just wasted. And then we have kind of the engine of this deck. We have 2 Remoraid and 2 Octillery. So this Octillery and Remoraid are both Rapid Strike, and this Rapid Strike Search is a pretty awesome ability. Once during your turn, if you search your deck for a Rapid Strike card, reveal it and put it into your hand. So there's so many options with this. Obviously we have a lot of trainer cards that can be found with Rapid Strike, and then obviously your Rapid Strike Urshifu V, and your Rapid Strike Urshifu Vmax. So this is a great card to find some of those evolutions or basics, whatever you're looking for, and a perfect trainer card for the situation, as well as some energy. Moving on to the trainer cards. There's one copy of Fan of Waves. At first I was kind of confused as to why people were putting it in their deck, but then I remembered that a lot of other decks, including maybe a mirror match game, are running a lot of special energy. So having this to put a special energy is kind of like a crushing hammer in a way. It makes them hard for them to get that back, and it just takes away one energy, which can be good against like maybe ADP. If they're using Aurora energy, that can shut them down. And it's just an item card too. We've got Pokemon Communication, 3 copies. Rather than going for Evolution Instance, I decided to do Pokemon Communication. It just seems like the better option, especially since there's lots of other tech cards in here. Pokemon is always great for that. It allows you to reveal a Pokemon from your hand and put it into your deck. If you do, search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. So that's awesome. It also works well for Crobat. If you have a bunch in your hand, you can just like put them into your hand and put them back, just kind of that whole swapping process, so you can have less cards in your hand and draw more of Crobat. Quick Ball, 4 copies. It makes total sense. Pretty much all the decks right now are running 4 copies of Quick Ball, so you can get those basic Pokemon and get rolling. Scoop Up Net for Galarian Zigzagoon and Jirachi, so you can scoop those up and keep the cycle going with those. There's 4 copies of Switch, which makes total sense to be able to switch those Pokemon in and out to get Rapid Strike Urshifu out of the active position and to set up Gale Thrust and move around your regular Jirachi. And then we've got Martial Arts Dojo, just 1 copy of this. And also, can I point out this Mankey looks really weird, the gold border outline, I don't know, just looked weird to me. But it says the attacks of non-Ultra Beast Pokemon, that doesn't really matter, that have any basic fighting energy attached to them, do 10 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And if you're behind on prices, it does 40 more damage instead. So when you put a fighting energy onto your Rapid Strike Urshifu, it's going to get at least 10 damage boosted, which can supplement for Zigzagoon. Tower of Waters, another Rapid Strike card, and the retreat cost of each of your Rapid Strike Pokemon is 2 less. It's really awesome. Rapid Strike Urshifu, 200 retreat cost, so it's basically an air balloon that just stays in play. For supporters, we have 2 Boss's Orders, switches one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. Since Urshifu already hits the bench pretty easily, I didn't think it's necessary to include 4 copies of this, just stick with 2. So this is one card that you might not have seen much in a lot of Rapid Strike Urshifu decks, but it's this cool Rapid Strike Brawly. It's a great setup card. You get to search your deck for the 3 basic Rapid Strike Pokemon and put them onto your bench. So that lets you find maybe just 3 Rapid Strike Urshifu V or 2 Rapid Strike Urshifu V and 2 Remoraid. So that fact is a great setup card, and it can be found easily with Octillery. Another Rapid Strike trainer card is Karina's Focus, which is basically Lily if you remember that from the Sun and Moon era. It allows you to draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. It may not be the best draw supporter compared to Marnie or Professor's Research, but you can always find it in the right situation since you have Octillery in the deck. 3 copies of Marnie and 3 copies of Professor's Research, just because they're such great draw cards and it would make no sense not to put them in here. And then finishing up the trainer cards, there's actually 4 Pokemon tool cards in here, which I'm pretty excited about. You don't usually see as many tool cards in a deck, and these are some pretty unique ones. So we've got 1 copy of Air Balloon. Obviously we only need 1 because we have a Tower of Waters in here as well. And then we have Karate Belt. So this is one I mentioned earlier. It says if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, the attacks of the Pokemon cards attached to you cost 1 fighting energy less. That's pretty cool. So obviously, like, your Pokemon's going to get knocked out is Rapid Strike Urshifu Vmax. Your opponent would take 3 prize cards from that, which will definitely put you behind in the prize race. So this Karate Belt can cut down on the cost of your attacks pretty efficiently. Gale Thrust can be free, as well as Strafe. And then you'll only need 2 energy for Gmax Rapid Flow, which actually is only 1 energy with that Rapid Strike energy. And then we got 2 copies of Telescopic Sight. When this card first came out, I didn't really see a use for it, but it's actually very powerful. So the attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to do 30 more damage to your opponent's bench Pokemon V and GX. So if we attach this to Rapid Strike Urshifu V, and we hit the bench with Vmax Rapid Flow, it's going to do 30 more damage. So you can dish out 150 to each bench Pokemon, which is pretty awesome. I've seen this used with Inteleon a lot as well, so that's a pretty cool combo with Urshifu. Finishing off with the energy, we've got 4 copies of Rapid Strike Energy. This one is just so good. It's Rapid Strike, so it can be found with Octillery, and it says this card can only be attached to a Rapid Strike Pokemon. This card is attached to anything other than a Rapid Strike Pokemon. Discard. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides 2 in any combination of water and fighting energy, which obviously you're just going to be using it for fighting energy unless you want to attack with Octillery for some reason. But this is awesome because if you have Karate Belt and it cuts down on the cost of this by 1, you attach the Rapid Strike Energy. That's all you need to do Vmax Rapid Flow, is just 1 energy. And the bonus of it is when you discard the energy, you're only discarding 1 energy and not 2, so that's less energy you lose for the game overall. So I haven't seen this in a ton of Urshifu Vmax decks, or at least not the amount of copies I have in here. I have 4 copies of this Spiral Energy. I think this one is really awesome, mostly because it provides not only protection from paralysis, but also because it gives you some options for other Rapid Strike Pokemon. So, you know, if Dedenne or Crobat were Rapid Strike Pokemon, you could use it on that. But here in a second, I'm going to show you some other options that you can use in the Urshifu Vmax deck. And Rapid Strike, or Spiral Energy, opens up a lot of possibilities for other types that you could put into this fighting type deck. And then there's 4 fighting type energy. Kind of have to include these just so you can get the bonus from Martial Arts Dojo, because unfortunately this bonus doesn't kick in if you have Rapid Strike Energy or Spiral Energy attached. It only occurs with this basic fighting energy. Okay, so that's the deck overall, but there are some changes you can make to this. So there will be some changes most likely made for after the rotation, and there's some you can make right now. With all these Rapid Strike possibilities, there's a lot to get to, so let's get going. Okay, so Inteleon from Chilling Reign is being used in almost every deck since it only has this colorless energy, and this ability just goes well with any deck, especially Zacian. You can put it in anything, but it works well with Rapid Strike Urshifu, especially because it's just Rapid Strike. And the Drizzile and Sabo that come before are also Rapid Strike, so it's easily searchable with Octillery, and it makes for a mean combination with Urshifu, so you can put even more damage on the bench. Okay, if I were to play a Rapid Strike Urshifu Vmax deck, I would definitely put a Zera or a V in there. This card is really cool. I also like the artwork of like the full art and this alternate art. It's really cool. But this Cross Fist attack does 100 damage. Also, to mention, it is a Rapid Strike, so again, you can easily search for it with your Octillery. And this Cross Fist attack also merges with that Rapid Strike engine. It says if one of your other Rapid Strike Pokemon uses an attack during your last turn, this attack also does 160 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So not only are you doing 100 to the active, you're doing 160 to the bench. So it's a very nice follow-up to Rapid Strike Urshifu's Vmax Rapid Flow. And you may be wondering, well, it's a lightning type, it requires the lightning energy. Well, the reason we can include this is because we include the Spiral Energy, and this provides any type as long as it's attached to a Rapid Strike Pokemon. Well, that's going to do it for the breakdown of Rapid Strike Urshifu Vmax. This is a very popular card right now, and it's going to stay strong after the rotation, no doubt. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Leave me a comment if there's any changes you would make to the deck. Make sure to hit the like button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss new videos when they're uploaded. And make sure to subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. Well, that's going to do it for today. I hope to see you guys next time. See ya!